What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be playing a Liliana's Dreadhorde General deck. Oh, and our opponent just scoops. We were down to 3 and they scoop. So, yeah, that was, just killed everything they just waited for. And, still heal up to 8, so, and they're down to 3 now. They're going to have some fantastic play come next turn. Basically, we're just going to be taking a whole lot of zombies in the mono black color and smashing them together with Liliana, as this is a card that I've definitely been excited for. Y'all that have been following my channel for a little bit know that I love zombies. I love anything that lets you just build a whole lot. And granted, a mass doesn't quite work the way I was hoping it would in building up a whole lot of units. It still works really well in building up one really big unit, so I figured we would try and take the most advantage of that in our deck here today. So yeah, we're gonna hop right into the deck tech or the deck breakdown, and then we'll get right into our matches. So starting us off, we have 2 copies of Duress to take a peek at our opponent's hand, try and get rid of, you know, whatever annoying non-creature, non-land spells they may have, whether they be counters or enchantments or planeswalkers. You know, there's a ton, but yeah, it just helps us out a little bit there. 2 copies of Gutterbones, as it is a very easy and very excellent card to get back from your graveyard. And for 1 mana, 2/1 isn't bad. Then we're moving down to Kaya's Ghostform. For 1 mana, you can enchant creature or planeswalker, and whenever they die or are put into exile, you can return it to the battlefield under your control. So the only way that they can really deal with this is either by countering it as soon as you play it, which then they're playing, you know, they're paying however much mana to counter a 1 mana spell, so you're probably going to win out on the resource trade there, or by bouncing whatever it is that has this on it back to your hand. So again, it's cheap. You don't want to overrun it for sure, but it could save your Liliana if they have a Vraska's Contempt, right? Or could bring your Herald of the Dreadhorde back for double the effect, which is really strong. So yeah, Kaya's Ghostform, it's good, but don't overdo it. Two copies is probably enough. Moving us down, we have 2 copies of Cast Down to deal with, you know, whatever creatures our opponent may throw out that aren't legendary. Just some really cheap and easy removal. Then we have 3 copies of Dreadhorde Invasion. Now, this is a card that I really like. So at the beginning of each of your upkeeps, you lose 1 life and amass 1, and whenever a zombie token you control with power 6 or greater attacks, it gains lifelink until end of turn. So yeah, really strong. And I actually want to be building an Orzhov zombie deck as well and try out Oketra with Dreadhorde Invasion, and then find some way to boost her zombie tokens. But it sounds like that could be trying for too much, so nonetheless, we'll move down to Lazotep Reaper. I was going to say Reaper, but it's Reaver. Just a 1/2, comes down and amasses 1, so it just puts more bodies on the field. It's an okay card, and it's amassing in the mono black tree. So do I think it's the world's greatest? No, but I figured I would give this a try over what we usually play in the 2-drop slot, that being well, I can't think of the name now. Y'all know which one I'm talking about. Doom to Center. Yeah. And I wanted to see if it'd be better, because Doom to Center must die in order for you to create the zombie, and the zombie isn't the amass zombie army, so it doesn't really help with your Dreadhorde Invasion or any of that. So I figured let's just give it a shot. Then we're playing 2 copies of Moment of Craving. Easy, cheap removal, gains us life, great against aggro. And I kind of want to see how it plays out in this meta. Now I'm thinking Moment of Craving and all these like -2 effects are going to go down, just because the health of creatures in this meta seem to be a little bit higher, like 3, 4 maybe. But yeah, Lava Cool should still be fine, but you know, kind of not important to our deck here. Nonetheless, we'll move down to Priest of Forgotten Gods. We are playing 2 copies, and another thing with Lazotep Reaver is it is a great sack outlet, as well as Herald of the Dreadhorde. Midnight Reaper's even a pretty good sack outlet, Reassembling Skeleton. So we have plenty of things to sacrifice to Priest, and granted, she may not be a zombie, she is excellent when commanding the undead, so yeah, that's a solid card. By the way, those of you that don't know what Priest does, you tap her, you sacrifice 2 of your other creatures, and then any number of target players, so you can target yourself, but you probably don't want to. Each lose 2 life and sacrifice a creature. You gain 2 black mana and you draw a card. So really awesome effect for only 2 mana. Moving us down, as I just mentioned, we do have 2 copies of Reassembling Skeleton, and again, this is very cheap sacrifice fodder, and very good sacrifice fodder. So then we have 4 copies of Death Baron, as we are playing a whole lot of skeletons and zombies, and well, Death Baron's effect is give all those creatures a +1/+1 and have Death Touch. So fairly good. Moving us down, we have 3 copies of Midnight Reaper to help us draw out some cards. Now, whenever a non-token creature dies, we'll get dealt 1 damage and we get to draw a card. So this doesn't work for the zombie amass armies that we're going to be having, but all the other creatures, you know, Death Baron, Reassembling, all of them will activate this effect. Even Midnight Reaper himself dying will activate this effect. So if nothing else, you'll usually get at least a 1 card draw, which is pretty good. Then we have 2 copies of Vizier of the Scorpion, 3 mana for this 1/1, which doesn't seem fantastic, but it is a semi-replacement for Death Baron. They don't get the +1/+1, and it is only for your zombie tokens, but it still gives them Death Touch, which is still a huge piece in defense and offense. Usually people don't want to block against Death Touch because they don't want to use their units. Same for offensive. They don't want to attack into Death Touch, as they can lose their units very easily. Now, we are only playing 1 copy of the Herald of the Dreadhorde, but I honestly don't think this card is too fantastic. For 4 mana, it's just a bit too costly. If it had been 3, this card would have been awesome, like fan-fucking-tastic. But for 4 mana, a 3/2 just... And sure, whenever it dies, you amass 2. But for 4 mana, it's a little bit slow, right? So moving us down, we have 2 copies of Vraska's Contempt, some more removal. Then we have the big mana cost, the fun stuff down here at the bottom. 1 copy of Open the Graves to turn all of our non-token creatures into zombies whenever they die. Fantastic card. I love it personally, so if I'm going to be making a zombie deck, you can probably bet that Open the Graves will be in there somewhere. Moving us down, we have 1 copy of Bolas' Citadel, which is just a fantastic card in general. If you can play it, like if you're in the right color scheme or mana scheme, in order to be able to get down 3 swamps or 3 black sources of mana, by all means play it. You can look at the top card of your library anytime. Huge effect. You can play the top card of your library practically anytime, you know, given it's a time where you can play it. You can't play a sorcery speed spell at instant speed just because it's at the top of your library. But nonetheless, whenever you cast it, you don't even have to pay its mana cost. You just pay life equal to its mana cost. And we have some lifelink in this deck, given Dreadhorde Invasion, which you actually get to the 6/6 zombie, I'd say fairly, decently. A lot more than I had originally thought that I would be able to. But yeah, so super huge effect. And then furthermore, if you do get to this like standstill and you just have a whole lot of stuff on the board, you can sacrifice 10 non-land permanents and each opponent loses 10 life. So you do it twice and they're dead. Or say you already have them down to 10 and you're in a stalemate, again, you do it once and they're dead. So really, really good card and huge card, right? Awesome artwork on it as well. Then we have 1 copy of Command the Dreadhorde, another awesome card. So for 6 mana, we can choose any number of target creatures and or planeswalker in the graveyards, any graveyards, our opponents or ours. And then Command the Dreadhorde deals damage to us equal to the converted mana cost of all those cards. And then we put all those cards onto the battlefield under our control. So it can be an absolutely monumental board swing tempo effect. It's costly, yes, in the fact that it costs 6 mana and it also costs you, X life, wherever X may be. But it's still very spicy and it can be excellent. And say you've managed to heal up some with your Dreadhorde Invasion, then this isn't going to affect you too much. And if you're on the back burner, granted, it's not going to help you. And if you're winning, it's just going to help you win more. Right. So, Bolas the Citadel can help swing things. Command the Dreadhorde sort of just gives your winning board state that last final kick. It can also put you back in the game, but if you've already been taking some beating and you don't have a whole lot of life left, then paying 6 mana to get back, 1 or 2 creatures, not that fantastic. But it can be fun. That's why we're only playing one copy. Then we have the Dreadhorde General herself, Liliana. So this is going to be the Planeswalker card for our deck. Whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card. Fantastic. Fantastic static ability. Then we can +1 her and create a 2/2 black zombie creature token, which is awesome, right? Considering all of our things affect zombie creature tokens. And then we can also -4 her, and each player sacrifices 2 creatures. Yes, we have to sacrifice them as well. However, us sacrificing creatures shouldn't be as detrimental as our opponent sacrificing creatures. And then finally, her like ultimate, if you will, is -9. Each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sacrifices the rest. So they choose 1 land, they choose 1 creature, an enchantment, a planeswalker, an artifact, and they get to keep 1 and then kill everything. So the main 2 here is the creatures. Say they have a big board state, fantastic. If they don't, then it's not really, that good. But the even bigger one is land, right? By the time you get Liliana down, and by the time you get her up to 9 or 10, if you don't want to lose her, realistically, and you do minus her, their lands should be pretty built up, right? So as soon as you minus and they have to destroy all their lands, they're basically starting back over. Meanwhile, you still have all of yours. You don't have to worry about, flooding and all that all over again. So really good card, really fun card. Sure, it's expensive, but I think we can manage. Then we have 2 copies of Cabal Stronghold and 2 copies of Memorial to Folly. So that's going to be our deck tech or our deck breakdown, and now we're going to hop right into the games. Alrighty. Sea Helm or Chelm or Kelm, I'm not sure. They're going to be our first opponent here. This is a scary hand to start with, especially since we're on the play. It's not very quick at all. But I will keep it. We have plenty of land, and I see Bolas' Citadel, so if we can get there, things could be very, very nice. 10th District Legionnaire. So things are starting out scary for us for sure. Now we are going to go ahead and play the Vizier of the Scorpion. So we want to get that Death Toucher down to, threaten their 10th District, so they can't just swing haymakers at us all day, right? Feather the Redeemed. Okay, so they're going for the 10th District Feather Wombo Nombo. We will go ahead and kill the 10th District. I don't care if they have another one. Let's at least get rid of that one, right? And then I think we're just going to Vraska's Contempt. But I think we need to go ahead and do it, right? So they don't get any effect out of Feather. No save spells, no mana to try and try something crafty, right? We just want to get rid of it. Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay, so they're going very, very aggro. Okay. That Dreadhorde Arcanist is getting kind of big. Kind of scary. What are they going to bring back, I wonder? So much sprint? Okay, makes sense. Just make it a little bit bigger. Now this is going to be a lot of damage to us. We do have enough swamps, though, to make Cabal Stronghold worthwhile on tapping it over. So I think we can go ahead and throw down Death Baron, and this will at least give our Vizier of the Scorpion Death Touch. And then next turn we can throw down Bolas. Let's see. If they run out of gas here, I think we're okay, but we have to make sure we can get to the point where they do run out of gas, right? Defiant Strike is really good. Okay, so we definitely want to kill the 10th District. We're hemorrhaging health and we're doing it fast. Ah, goodness. How many 10th Districts have we dealt with? 2? So this is their last one then. So let's go ahead and do that. Now we have 7 mana. It's not going to leave us enough for that. So we could throw down a Midnight Reaper and another Death Baron, which I think is honestly the smarter decision. I want Bolas' Citadel down, but like in the match we're up against, let's be realistic. We need to deal with their creatures, and this is their 3rd 10th District, so after this one, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, and they're selecting their Dreadhorde for that, so let's Ooh, Feather. Feather the Redeemed is definitely a good one for him. They are still swinging in. Yeah. Oh, Alrighty. Well, I will kill the Dreadhorde, or kill the Dauntless rather, because they're gonna sacrifice the Dauntless to make sure the Dreadhorde doesn't die. Alright, so here's our Bolas' Citadel. Now let's see what we have on top, because obviously that swamp draw was not really what we wanted. Midnight Reaper's not really where we want to be either. Neither is a Reassembling. We gotta make some moves here though, so I am gonna swing in with our other copy of the Midnight Reaper. Maybe even a copy of Death Baron. They both have Death Touch, so we don't have to worry about them really wanting to trade away. Now, the biggest thing that I am concerned about is the backswing from our opponent. Right? We have to make sure that they can't get to the damage they need, the non-damage. Defiant Strike on the Feather. Okay, are they just gonna try and go big on their Feather? Tithe Taker. Yeah, it looks like they're just gonna try and go big on their Feather and fly overhead. That's not good for us. We gotta find a cast, or ooh, even a cast down wouldn't work. Okay, so let's go ahead and play that land. Vraska's Will, and thank goodness it heals us, right? So let's get rid of Feather. Oh, and our opponent just scoops. We were down to 3 and they scoop. So yeah, that was excellent. Game 1 gonna be picked up by Liliana's army, as the deck name goes, and we'll hop right into a game 2. Dirk Geeg is gonna be our next opponent, or maybe that's GG. Dirk GG, right? Geeg. I'm gonna have some comments about that. Nonetheless, this is a pretty solid hand. I like seeing double Dreadhorde Invasion. It just means I can get that zombie en masse going twice as fast. No, I did not mean to rhyme there. Okay, we see the Llanowar. Makes me think mono green ramp into Ronos. That's just immediately what I think now. Oh, treasure map. Maybe not. Maybe not. I like that. Turn 2 treasure map and scry off the bat. Don't even let me know that you might have something in hand. Alright, let's go Dreadhorde. And next turn, you could probably guess it, we're going Dreadhorde. Turn after that, we may go Death Baron, as it will give our Dreadhorde zombie 1 additional power, get a little bit closer to that 6 strength that it needs, as well as giving it Death Touch, so fantastic there. Kaya's Ghostform would be excellent on our Death Baron whenever it does come down, just to try to ensure it stays alive a little bit longer. Kind of wish my Dreadhorde Invasions would stack, but you know, that's okay. So they could be going Simic Ramp, although the treasure map is still what's throwing me off, right? What kind of shenanigans you playing here, Dirk? Dirk. Alright, so our Dreadhorde will go up to a 3/3. Let's hope they don't have any bounce spells, right? Blue mana has a whole lot, generally, so let's get down the Death Baron and then Kaya's Ghostform if it resolves. No, it's not gonna resolve. Don't tell me you're playing. Oh, there's the blink of an eye. I was right. Alright, well at least we saw the blink on our skeleton, or our zombie there, so we can throw it on Kaya's Ghostform on our Death Baron. Unless they just blink it here, in which case that's a little awkward. And we'll just have to hope that they don't have too many copies of that. Tezzeret. Okay, so it's a Simic Tezzeret deck. That's interesting. Alright, so we'll get our 3/3 back. And another copy of Death Baron is awesome. We also got a cast down. Thinking let's throw our Midnight Reaper. And I'm going to save my cast down. However, I am going to swing at their Tezzeret with my Death Baron. They choose to sacrifice both units here to kill Death Baron. That's kind of makes me want to cast down, to be completely honest, but I'm not going to because we have another Death Baron in hand. We're getting this Death Baron back to the field, so yeah, and at some point they would end up bouncing our Death Baron anyways. We get the card draw off the Midnight Reaper. Seems fair, seems fine. And another Death Baron. Alrighty. Fantastic. They're going to create another Thopter. We're just going to have to hope that we can build an army quicker than they can build their Thopters up, right? We got to be able to swing around their Thopters if we ever want to get to that Tezzeret, and we definitely do. Search. Okay, depending on what the rest of their cards are, we can kill Tezzeret. We'll have to see. Alright, let's make our zombie a little bit bigger. Ooh, that'd have been a land. We could have actually gotten down our Death Barons. I don't know if we can now, though. Tapping 4 land and adding 4 mana doesn't seem worth it. Okay, so we'll still have 2 after that for a cast down. I think we do go Death Baron and cast down here. See if they have any counterplay. Alright, that's fine. Now we'll cast down their Thopter. Hopefully they don't have any more counterplay, but this will allow us to get rid of their Tezzeret. And sure, they sinistered 1 Death Baron away, but we do still have another in hand, so. And now 5 and 2 to Tezzeret, and 4 to the face. Let's hope they don't have anything here. Nope, nothing. Alright, wonderful. So bye-bye, Tezzeret, you big blue artifact creating machine. On our next turn, our Amass zombie token should have lifelink, which is great because we're getting kind of low. We'll be down to 9. But again, it'll get lifelink. It'll go up to, what, a 7/7. If we play Death Baron, it goes up to an 8/8. So we get healed all the way back up to 17. That's not too shabby. Ooh, Command the Dreadhorde is an interesting card. There's not much we'd bring back. Like well, we could bring back their Tezzeret, right? But that'd hurt. So, yeah, we don't have to worry about any settle the wreckages. So no reason to not swing in. Okay, they created 3 1/1s. Do they go 3 on Death Baron? Oh, that could be nice actually, because then we can just cast down, which seems a bit intense for Saproling, but then we also just get to keep all of our creatures, kill everything they just waited for, and still heal up to 8. So, and they're down to 3 now. They're gonna have some fantastic play come next turn, where this game is ours. Dreadhorde Invasion, as I said, just making a big body and making it like passively is so good. Tatiova, I think that's gonna be a GG here. Yeah, that's it. Alrighty, so Dirk GG, getting the GG'd. Yeah, Dreadhorde Invasion definitely took over in that game. Alrighty, let's see what our card is. Fiery Finish, awesome, awesome. Alright, well, we'll go and hop into a game 3. So far undefeated with Liliana's army. Awesome. Alrighty, here we are up against Pooh in the Bush. Very classy name, right? Alrighty, well, I see 2 Dreadhordes. I see Open the Graves. I'm a pretty simple man. I'm gonna keep it. We'll start just as we did last time, throwing down the Dreadhorde. And next turn, probably throwing down another Dreadhorde up against Rakdos. That can be scary, as they can sort of use that 1 life loss each turn against us. Want to see some more land. I'm not sure how we run 24 in the deck and then we get mana screwed at 2. But, you know, sometimes you have unlucky draws. Maybe we'll hit a land on this next turn and then we can throw down maybe just a Vizier, right? Sort of the safer play, considering we don't have 4 copies of Death Baron like we did last turn, or last game rather. So rough. Can I hit a land, please? Por favor. I don't play 24 because I just like the way they look, you know. Alrighty, well, let's just hope we don't get screwed out here and we actually have a chance to play our opponent. Otherwise, it's just going to be kind of depressing. Pay 3 life, decline. You can have it. They can have it. Kill a creature. We do want to exile the finale there. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get a Dreadhorde Invasion going back up. Hey, there's a land. I knew it was hiding somewhere down in there. It was just a matter of manifesting it. I just had to call it to action, right? Alright, so we can attack with our reassembling as their Grim Initiate does have first strike. And no Jai's Greeting. Now here, we might be okay to throw away the Vizier and the reassembling to the Grim Initiate. We'll have to see what their plans. Theater of Horrors. Alrighty. We really need to get this the zombie token up a little bit higher, so could just cast down. Though I kind of like the Death Baron play. It makes all of our creatures a little bit too big for their Grim Initiate, so that's fun. Now it's our turn to deal a little bit of damage. So next turn we can actually play the Vizier Scorpion, and so long as our zombie token survives, we'll be okay because it'll get lifelink. Although they're selecting it, there's the lightning strike. What an asshat. Alrighty, we're still stuck on 3 mana, which is definitely making this game hard considering our opponent seems to have drawn mana as one should in the game of Magic. 2 cast downs. You know what I say to that? 1 and 2. I'm not gonna sit here and beat around the bush. Let's just kill everything they have and we'll swing in with everything we have. Obviously this is going to be a very rush style game. Now maybe they have another way to take out our zombie army, hopefully not. We did just see Theater of Horrors tuck, what is that? Widespread Brutality. Jai's Greeting. Wonderful, wonderful. So they are going to be able to play, oh no, they can activate it but they can't play it, and they can't play Ob Nixilis either, so that's kind of good. They can deal 1 damage here, but then if they do, we'll be able to swing back at them. Yeah, okay, so they don't. Makes sense. We'll create another 3/3. Honestly, let's go ahead and get down to Vizier. Swing on. They'll block here, which is fantastic for us. They lose their only unit, and we are looking at lethal next turn. For us, thank goodness too, because our Dreadhorde Invasion is getting us low. Honestly, if they can deal 4 here, we'll die before we ever get a chance to lifelink back up, right? So Dreadhorde Invasion is a little tricky. It can definitely be the downfall to you as well, especially if in a game like this where they keep killing your little token, so you never quite get it big enough. We'll have to hope they don't have an answer here though. Ooh, even if they kill the Death Baron, our token doesn't get big enough. But then again, if they waste their mana killing the Death Baron, do we have enough to kill them? 1/1/1/3. I don't think so. Okay, so there goes our token again. Fantastic. If we can hit a Death Baron though, we can still win this. Land. Not really what we needed, but it does give us our Open the Grave, so I guess, you know, beggars can't be choosers. And I think we honestly just swing in with everything, right? And hope they don't have 2 damage. So, yes, they'll kill our Death Baron, but we'll create another zombie in its place. Which is good, because now if they do happen to remove our zombie. Although again, if they just have a shock, we're dead, right? If they shock us in the face, we're dead. Oh, or they just use Sarkhan's. Oh no! It changed cards right there at the end, so I didn't get to finish reading what card that was. So kind of unfortunate there, but I am kind of glad that we lost there because it shows the downside of Dreadhorde Invasion, and that is that you can easily and very realistically kill yourself if you go up against an aggro deck. So be careful. Playing 2 copies I feel like is the max you should ever play, unless you're in like a lifelink based deck, maybe playing Sorin, maybe in an Orzhov zombie style deck. That could be okay, but past that, be very careful about how many copies you play of Dreadhorde Invasion, as they can be lethal, and I don't mean to your opponent. So, thanks everybody for watching. We are going to wrap it up here. Everyone that's new, please consider subscribing. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below and a comment in the comment section if you have any suggestions for this deck, future decks, or past decks. Thank you all, and I'll either see y'all later tonight or tomorrow. And as I always say, peace.